5, 6, 7, 8. Nothing.
Boom, 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 boom. Move, Mitch. Get out the way. I'm sorry. Are we on? Are we on? I'm so sorry. Are we on?
No, we're not.
No, yes, we are.
We are. I knew that.
We're live.
I knew that. That big old live sign in the top left gave it away.
I got no live sign. I'm sorry. I am technically. They're here in Baltimore.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sybil Wilkes, and I'm here with my friend. Ooh.
Can you hear me?
Listen, I know y'all can hear me. This is the one time. Where I think I actually have Wi-Fi that's really good. So you should know that Sybil's in a bunker. Sybil is a valued national treasure. So somewhere within the environment of the nation's capital is where Sybil is now. Now the Wi-Fi may not work all that much, well or for good, but know that she'll be coming in and out throughout the day. Are you here with us now, Sybil?
My mic is on. Can you hear me?
So is my wife's every time she sings. Yes, I hear you fine.
Okay, good. Yes, Stephen Hill, we are in a bunker, also known as Baltimore. We're here for the CIAA and having technical challenges with my laptop. And so I am on my phone and doing things I've never done with my phone before. So bear with us. It's you and me, kid. How are you?
It's on the vibrating, Killer's on the vibrating setting. Yes, it is. It's you and I today.
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty darn fine, I must say. How are you?
I'm good. Travel was great today. Even though the flight was delayed, it was a good kind of delay. Gave me a chance this morning to get work done and got on a flight. And you know what? For the first time on these overbooked flights, Yolanda and I actually had a seat between us that remained empty for the entire flight.
What?
Yeah. I know, first world problems, but it's like
no, those are great problems.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, usually when I'm on a flight, when I'm on a flight with my wife, and she hates when I do this, especially if it's Southwest, because we go from Burbank to Vegas. Southwest is the best thing to do.
Sure.
So I'm nice guy when I get in. As soon as I sit down in the aisle seat and she sits in the window seat, I give him a money mug. Like, yeah, I dare you to come sit in this seat. I dare you. Yeah. And then boom, the boarding is complete. I'm like, hi, how are you? How's everybody doing? You good? I do play angry black man. 100% play angry black man to get the middle seat not taken on a
all your years of living in New York and DC are paid off, huh?
That's right. Straight out of Groton.
Yeah.
Crazy Mickey 50 named Steve Hill. Jack you up, you be real ill.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not on the road right now? Where are you guys preparing to go out on
we are home. We're home sweet home for a little while. She has a private gig in Jacksonville coming up, and then a good time off. January was a lot, so we're taking some time off to travel and be together without having to run on a stage every night. So
right. Yeah. That can be tough. Let me ask you this. How do you guys like working together like this? Like you're being her people?
I love it. You have to ask her. I love, and I'm not saying just saying this, I love supporting my woman. As you know, few things make me happier than like when my friends do extremely well, right? That it just it always has something that's fueled me. And so when it's my wife doing it and seeing things change in her life for the better, and she's about to record new music. I don't think I'm giving anything away. So that's a lot of this time is going to be spent recording new music. So working with her and supporting her is it is, as your mom might have said, the bee's knees.
I think my grandma said that. But yes, that's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. And can you talk about, because at the time of your wedding, she was working with some pretty phenomenal people in creating music.
Yep. She's headed down to Atlanta in a little while to work with the awesome and wonderful Lainey Stewart. There is already a duet in the bag. Yeah, that's been talked about with Eric Benet. That's just one of my favorite songs that I've heard. And I'm not even. It's just she and Eric Benet. Like, they don't. It doesn't. And, I am secure in my manhood, so I can say it doesn't become a more sexier pair than Eric Benet and Shantae Moore. Like I'm clear on what that is.
Okay.
She is my wife, though.
Did you mention that?
No. So yes, that's good.
That's pretty awesome.
Did you get to see as you were flying? No, because you were flying the other direction. You did not fly over the fires, did you? That are engulfing
No,
Texas?
and we're going to talk about that. That's no, we came low and then straight across because there was weather. I think part of our delay was having to do with the fact that there were tornadoes in the Chicagoland area and moving towards this direction, and so and it was raining when we got here, but we did not get any of the fire stuff. But
Okay.
it is
It's
horrific.
They're like
Yeah.
they say two football fields worth
Right.
of ground are being burned every second.
Yep. And
Two football fields worth of ground is a lot.
every second.
Yes.
Texas and Oklahoma are really fighting it, and so that's one of my news stories coming up this evening. Let's talk about the What You Need to Know newsletter. I'm going off the top of my head because my notes are in my phone, and my phone is now my camera. So, but talking about the What You Need to Know newsletter. Normally on Wednesdays, we have two other lovely ladies who are joining us. Quinn Townsend Riley is our LGBTQ plus contributor, and Myra J is Ms. Hilarity. And Myra is taking a couple of weeks off, as is Quinn. And so Quinn is still writing and talking about this case of a trans woman who was murdered by a man that she presumed to be her boyfriend, and many presumed it. And now he faced federal charges because of laws like the Matthew Shepard law and other things like that. So it's been interesting to see how this all works. And so trans people being able to have their rights, and unfortunately, it came at the end of this woman's life, in which this man faces federal charges, and so he will probably spend the rest of his life for the murder of this 24-year-old woman, trans woman. As you might expect, there's always challenges in relationships like that, but she was very proud of this relationship. He was less proud, and apparently it ended in a fight, and this man was found guilty of murdering this young woman.
I think that I was looking for the positive, like you're going to be held accountable.
Yeah.
Like you're going to be held accountable if you do such a heinous crime. So
Right. Yeah. So it is going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. I think the sentencing is in April, if my memory serves me correctly. But that is, and Quinn does a really good job of keeping people apprised of what's going on in the LGBTQ plus community. Unfortunately, this is not a standalone story. This is a story that happens quite often within the community. Yeah. So it is, it's interesting that, she has such a great spirit and happy spirit, but, I worry about these kids like she and Coy Malone does social justice. And this is a difficult time, with all of these stories and talking about violence and things like that. So please check out our What You Need to Know newsletter. It is absolutely free. We'd love to have you subscribe. Please go to SybilWilkes.com. Sybil, just like it says down there in the sign there. Over there. And .com, and give us your name and your email address, and we'll have it in your email box every Monday through Thursday, Monday through Friday. Engine number 19.
Is it really?
Yeah, engine, capital E. And
by the way, what you're hearing right now is the code to Sybil's ATM card.
My bank account.
It's the ATM card. It used to be Surrender Dorothy. I don't know why. I don't know why. Evidently, it's changed. Thank goodness.
Engine, hashtag 19, exclamation point. You want me to write it down for you?
Hashtag 19.
Uh-huh. Exclamation point. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. So sorry about that. And talking about people subscribing to the newsletter, that's, one of the things that we got a lot of passwords and stuff to do. But anyway, we'd love to have you subscribe. And when you get your newsletter, we haven't reminded folks of this in a while. When you get your newsletter every Monday through Friday morning, please open it. That would help us a great. Yep, you got it. You got it. One of the other things that we do on a weekly basis is we have a Black and Missing segment, and that is thanks to the Black and Missing Foundation. And where was I? Just recently, and I was somewhere, and they had an Amber Alert. But this was, it was I think it was in California, Stephen Hill. It was a Black Amber Alert, or Ebony Alert. That's what they called it, an Ebony Alert. And talking about Black people that are missing. And in this case, it was a young woman, 27 years old. Take a look at her picture. She looks familiar to you. Please go to the Black and Missing Foundation website. Oh, look at you there. Look at you. Yolanda Starks White, you are just amazing. Okay, I can do away with
I'm
this.
sorry, we don't have time. We don't have the time. You don't have time to talk about how wonderful Yolanda is. You have to move to the next topic.
Because we already know it. We know it.
Oh, I was ready. I was going to use that echo.
Better. Now I don't hear you, Stephen Hill. So
you don't hear me? You don't hear me? Well, we're here. We can hear you fine. We hear you just fine, Sybil Wilkes. She's in Baltimore.
Thank you, Stephen Hill. She's getting it together.
Okay. All right. In the meantime, move Mitch, get out the way. In case you have not heard, Mitch McConnell will be stepping down from his leadership in September. The big question everybody has is, why are you waiting?
How about now?
Why are you waiting, Leia? Why are you waiting? Step down now. All you have to do is take one foot, put it down below the other.
Thank you all for being so patient.
I was talking about Mitch McConnell, how he got out the way. Move, Mitch, get out the way.
Yeah, Mitch McConnell, and let's talk. Well, let's move to the what's really going on question.
Okay.
Because a lot of talk, there's a lot of conversation. Are you watching what they're doing with us, Donald Trump and his selling of his high-priced athletic shoes, the $400 Trump?
I've already ordered mine.
Please don't say that. Well, Fat Joe apparently has ordered a pair.
Absolutely.
Why?
Those are fresh. Those gold, gold shoes. What? Gold basketball shoes? What? Are you like? Oh, that's the future. Like, that's the future. I'm just mad that it came from Donald Trump because I can't look. I'm telling you, Steph Curry, Draymond Green, all of them come out there like, oh, it kind of fits with our color palette as well.
Really?
Okay. All right. Okay.
So that brings us to our question of the day. What's really going on? And Steve, you and I have never been shopping together. I don't know your habits. Like when we are on cruises and stuff, you usually tag along with us and go. But what's the most and this is for Fat Joe. I think we know the answer to that question. What's the most ridiculous item that you bought recently? Because I'm an Amazon girl, and this isn't and so a lot of stuff I get, but and I don't mind. I bought underwear the other day, and I'm like, why did I buy this? I think it was a mistake, because I really wouldn't buy underwear from Amazon, but I was looking for a pair, and this just was not what I was looking for. So that was probably the most ridiculous. But this is a ridiculously expensive thing that Fat Joe bought, the $400 Trump athletic sneaks that Stephen Hill wants for his birthday. So making a note for people who are going to China, let's get a knockoff pair for Steve for his birthday.
Look, y'all don't understand how the world works. Those things are going to be sold and then resold. Fat Joe's not buying them to wear. He's buying them so that he can
As an
make more money off of
investment?
them. Oh, come on. There's a limited amount of $400 sneakers. Now, if you know anything about how sneakers work, they make a limited amount. People buy them when they can, and then they resell them. Like, I get people who are, oh, well, it's Donald Trump, it's Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
If I can triple my money off of something that says Donald Trump's name on it, I'm going to triple my money. I like it's just true. Anybody, oh, I don't like Elon Musk, but your Tesla's doing well for you. Okay, yeah. I mean, there's so many things that that you don't know the politics of the people who are running the organization. So if you don't know the politics, that's just as bad as like not liking the politics. So I'm a little less on that bandwagon than others.
I'm not willing to do that. I'm not willing to give him one dime, not a scintilla, because I just detest that whole thing so much that I would. But what about you? Is there anything that you bought? You're like, this is some bull. This is what this is right here.
I think to the world it would seem like that, but to my wife and I, when we celebrated her birthday recently, it wasn't that bad. It was just a neon green mesh top.
Ooh, for her or for you, or are they matching?
Okay.
Were they? Please tell me they were his and hers, not just hers. That they.
Okay. No, it's because I'm really good at buying just stupid things, but I've stopped that recently. Actually, I haven't done a lot of that.
So what's the last stupid thing
trust me,
you bought?
the mesh top wasn't stupid.
No, I bet that led to a really good night.
And day and night after that.
Okay, all right, a week in.
Wow. I'm stuck. I got to pass on this one. I really haven't. Like, I really have. I by design have not bought much stupid stuff because boxes just ended up coming at Amazon and be like, I don't even remember. I don't remember ordering this.
Right. Yeah. I've had to cut down on my Amazon purchases, but most of the stuff I get now are vitamins and supplements and books and stuff, Aubrey W, thank you. The most ridiculous thing I bought was a derma suction machine that's supposed to clean your pores. Oh, I've seen those. I immediately sent it back to Temu. So 2 questions for you, Aubrey. Did you try it or did you just send it back to Temu? And how difficult is it to return something to Temu? Stephen Hill, are you aware?
What's Temu? What's Temu?
So that's like the new Wish. That's the new cheap buy stuff cheap company, and you might not even have it on your phone, but usually you for me, if I'm looking up a news story or something and ads pop up, and Temu has these ridiculous, sometimes kind of fly stuff, but they're ridiculously cheap, and Temu is one of those companies, and Cameron did a story about it not too long ago and talked about the use of child labor in Chinese countries, that they're using Chinese child labor in order to have the price point so low for the purchases of these things. So for us to be aware of that.
Yeah, understood.
But the pore popper, that sounds like something Dr. Pimple Popper would use.
I would love to have one of those. I got to tell you, far too many black and white heads up in this face. So
okay. So our friend Justice is on Facebook. She said, I just ordered 3 pairs of jeans from Temu that are 15 times too long. So she's obviously buying from the stilt department. The circus stilt department. But that's funny, Justice. I've not purchased anything from Temu, but because I have bought things from on eBay years ago and from Chinese companies, and you have to call us. You have to get our permission to return something. You have to call us between 6 and 6:16 p.m. Chinese time, and and if nobody answers, then you got to keep trying. So that their windows are so ridiculous. But we're asking, what's the most ridiculous thing that you've purchased lately? And the way this came about is because Fat Joe has admitted to purchasing a pair of Donald Trump. And Stephen Hill says it's a worthy investment. So
they will be in 6 months from now. They will be selling for more than $400 for sure. Here's the thing, but people are so I get like you don't like Donald Trump,
right?
You don't like his message, but like, are you aware of what the CEO of Kleenex feels? Like, do you know if the person on whose tissue you're blowing your nose supports the issues that you do?
Well, here's the problem. Here's the
You probably
problem
don't.
because the Coke industry people are the ones that support a lot of the very conservative politicians and causes, right? And Coke is known for the Koch brothers are for all their paper products. So I have to very carefully, when I go to buy paper products, look and see who really is the manufacturer of these products. It takes a long time for me.
It takes a lot. It takes a lot. I'm just betting that most people
Don't.
Don't do that.
All they want is soft bottoms. Therese Robinson on Facebook said, I bought a nice 2-piece pantsuit. It was nice and it fit. Was that from Temu? I'm just curious because TYO Dimples on YouTube says the last thing I bought from China, blouse material was sewn together, I'm thinking, with the print side backwards. Never intend to order anything ever again. Yeah, some of the stuff is very nice, and then you get it, and you're like, and so I always go to customer reviews too. Do you do that, Steve? Do you?
Yes, always. And if the customer reviews are written in really, really badly broken English, I'm like,
right.
Oh, they wrote them themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They wrote themselves.
Right. But Stephen Hill is all about the Benjamins with Fat Joe and purchasing the ridiculous. But Steve,
I don't know about how they. Yeah, I'm not sure all about the Benjamins. I'm not as particular probably as I should be. If I'm going to be honest, with myself. I should be much more particular. I do try to circulate them in Black communities, but I got to tell you, if all of a sudden the Tesla appeals to me, I'm probably going to buy a Tesla.
Really?
Yeah, I don't care about Elon Musk. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I gotta respect it unless it comes out, especially if it comes out as a better gift for me. Manuel Murphy on Facebook. When I was a child, I purchased a liar's license. Come to find out, years later, Trump got his for free. I really didn't buy the license.
That's brilliant.
So that's pretty funny. And Donald Trump got his for free. Steve, do you remember the old comic books? Did you read comic books as a kid?
Absolutely. The back page.
Yeah.
I tried to get X-ray specs as soon as I turned 12 and a half.
Right. And what did they turn out to be? What?
Undelivered. I never got them. They never came. I sent the money. I never got the X-ray specs. I never got the exploding cigarette tips.
Did you ever get sea monkeys?
I did not. I did not do that. I did not do the sea monkeys.
My dad and I purchased sea monkeys.
How'd they go? How'd they work out for you?
It did not. The fish just kind of circled around this blob, and it's like, well, my dad already had a really nice aquarium, so we're gonna have the sea monkeys with the fish and everything. We're gonna watch them, break out of the shell and just fly all over the aquarium. I think it just became a dumping ground for the fish, just to kind of. Renita Bland on Facebook said, I bought a cassette tape recorder for my daddy. He does not stream or download or use DVDs. He has a mountain of recorded church services. So I don't know if you remember this, Steve, and it might have happened after you left the Joyner Show. We used to have a guy, his name was Donnie, I want to say it's Donnie Frayer. And Donnie used to send us tapes, like cassette tapes of music. And really good stuff. It was always curious, but he called himself the tape master. And so, but he would send us tapes of, and I thought it was curious because I think he thought we didn't have any more music in our music libraries. And so, just the stuff we played was all we had. So, but he was so sweet. And some of the music was really quite good, but that's really nice. Do they still make tape recorders? I guess they do. I guess
They do. They
do.
do. They
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Not on a big assembly line. They're not coming out like
Yeah,
500 a day.
and I'm thinking Sony's not on the name there. I'm just thinking.
No,
Although I
no.
did try to buy a boom box recently because I was thinking about, if the power should go out and just having a radio.
Uh-huh.
And I was trying to find one, and I found, but they're some of them are really quite good, powered by the sun, like if you're outside and that kind of thing. So I'm looking for a boom box.
CM Williams from Facebook says, "I
Yes.
wish I'd saved my cassettes." And it's funny because what I found recently, I used to be on the radio. I was on the radio in Boston in the years of 1988
You're
to
supposed to do this.
WILD radio. And I found a cassette, an air check. We call it air check when you take yourself on the air, of Chris Rock and he did a phone in after Eddie Murphy's wedding. He did after Eddie Murphy's wedding. He's like, yeah. Now I can't remember all the things that were there, but like he literally was like, yeah, this person was there and they wouldn't talk to me, and then they're like, and, it was early. I keep meaning to send that to him, and I keep forgetting.
That is so.
So I do keep my cassettes. Yes.
Oh, and so you have a machine to play them on.
Yes. Both Shantae and I were determined to make sure we had a cassette machine. She got a brand new one for Christmas, as a matter of fact.
Oh, nice.
She got me a cassette machine so she could hear her cassettes.
Aww.
Isn't that love or
Do
something?
you have an air check of your meeting on the air?
No, I can't find it. I can't. I'm literally one day going to go through every single one of my cassettes because I believe it exists. The day that Shantae and I met on the air in WILD, but I've yet to find it.
Oh, that was, and tell me, this is off topic, but tell me what that was like when you guys went back to Boston this past year.
It was so much fun because the two people who we were all sitting in the studio with that day, Pebbles, who is still a radio legend in Boston, and Coach William May, who's a Chicago, who's a Boston legend as well. We introduced her on stage, and then the next day after the show, we went back, and it was fun, like being at the door of the building. Of course, the radio station's not there anymore, but like it's the door that she walked through and into my life. And I just think I enjoy those things. Like I enjoy those. Did you become
verklempt?
I am always verklempt, Sybil, as you well know. I'm always in some state of verklempt.
Verklemptitude.
That's exactly 100%. 100%.
Do we have any more people with ridiculous purchases? Janet Ferguson on Facebook. I'm trying to decide if I want to keep my vinyls or sell them. Keep them.
Keep them. Because as soon as you get rid of them, I don't know, it'll be 5-6 years later, you're going to wish you had them. I'm not saying that happened to me.
Really?
Oh yeah. I gave mine away. I was in a purging meeting. Like, I want nothing but empty space. I'm here. and 5 years later, I was like, I didn't even sell them. I took them to the record store. They were about to close, and I said, "I'm sorry, we're not here buying the records." I'm like, "Listen to me. You want to take this collection of records? You'll enjoy this. Have fun. I just want to make sure." I'd gone to see which record store like really took care of records and really cared about the music. Took it there and dropped them off.
Wow.
Didn't even
you just donated them. You didn't sell them back to them.
Nope, they sold them. I'm sure they sold them, but I
bet they made a pretty penny. Yeah.
I just want to make sure they're in good hands.
That's nice. That's nice.
Yes.
Yolanda Renita Bland. I bought the Sony one on eBay. She said on Facebook, they aren't cheap either. That was last week.
Cassette players. Yes.
The
cassette players on eBay are not. Yeah.
Yeah. Good for you.
Not easy.
Yeah. I know that I have boxes in my mom's house of old air checks. I'm kind of scared to go back to them. So those we're asking people about the just ridiculous purchases that you've made, and not necessarily recently, like Fat Joe, but purchases that you look back and go, what did I do that for? But Renita's was for a good cause, for her daddy. That's a nice. What about for your mom? Is it easy to buy for her?
My mother?
Yeah.
Yes, chocolate. That's it. Like her mother before her. The present and the way to show love, the language of love is chocolate. For my grandmother, my mother's mother, it was Godiva chocolates.
Ooh.
That was it. She never didn't love when she got Godiva chocolates. And for my mother, it is little Dove candies.
Oh yeah.
They have a different. She likes the red one and the purple one. I forget. I think one has an almond and one is dark chocolate or something. But Dove, that's way to my mother's heart.
That was my godmother.
If I get good grades. If I get good grades.
And when you bring her your report card these days, she goes,
right.
"What kind of classes are you taking?"
That's right,
oh my.
Right.
So thank you all.
Did I ever tell you, by the way, that we found out that I won't go into the details, but Jesse Collins, who is a super producer, black producer who does Emmys, BET Awards, Super Bowl halftime show more than anything else, and has been my good friend forever. His grandmother was my third grade teacher during the year that his mother was pregnant with Jesse.
No way.
Did I ever tell you that?
No.
Jesse's grandmother was my third grade teacher while Jesse was being nurtured
in the oven. He was
in the oven. Yes. Yeah. How crazy is that?
How did you all discover that?
He talked about. So his grandmother had a connection to James Brown, and we were on vacation. We were talking about the connection to James Brown, and he mentioned that she was a teacher. I was like, she's not Miss Palmer from Ann Beers. He was like, yes, she is. I was like, I just remembered my third grade teacher, like, had James Brown come to the school like one of the 2 days I missed. Like James Brown came to Ann Beers School in Washington, D.C. I didn't want to go into the long story because I know Yolanda's about to say, just like that. By the way, that's exactly why she looked. But that's it. That's what we found out. And we're like, oh my God. And he called her, and I talked to my third grade teacher, Mrs. Palmer.
Wow. Could she have told you why she called in James Brown that day you were absent? That is crazy.
No, it's a longer story about how they're connected to James Brown, and how awesome James Brown was to come by an elementary school. But that's what he did in 1970.
Speaking of famous Black men, have you seen the the One Love biopic?
I have not, but kudos to Paramount, who found a way to market that and get that to $100 million film,
right?
And show that you can have a non-superhero movie and a movie that does not, whose first line of defense or whatever it is not white men,
right,
or white women,
right,
and have to be an absolute success. I think it's a $75 million or $80 million budget, and it's already 21. It will probably cap out at about 200 million. So kudos to Paramount for getting that done, and they did it with really sly marketing.
And the biggest box office ever in Jamaica history.
Oh, I didn't know that. Fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Bob Marley, thank you. I don't know why I was thinking Jimi Hendrix, but that I just love the idea of that. I just absolutely love the idea. And see, you have time. So let's move to the trending. And now Stephen Hill.
Mm-hmm.
And now Stephen Hill.
Mm-hmm.
And now Stephen Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Move.
What?
Move.
Oh, move, Mitch. Get out the way. Get out the way, Mitch. Get out the way. Mitch McConnell will be stepping down from his leadership role in the Senate, but not the Senate itself, as I understand it.
Yeah,
he will still be a senator until y'all vote him out.
Well, he's not going to run for re-election in 26.
Still vote him out, though. Like when you get your ballot, just say like, not Mitch. Mitch better have my bunny. You know.
I have a feeling, and we might want to put a little money on this, but I think that his political godson, Daniel Cameron, the man who just messed up the lives of so many Black people when it came to saving the punishment for the policeman who killed Breonna Taylor. He was the attorney general, and he lost for governor this year. I say that he's going to make one more try. And when McConnell drops out in 26, not run for re-election, I say Daniel Cameron is going to run again, and I hope they show him the door again.
Show
McConnell turned. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're talking about McConnell because I want to come back with something about McConnell after you.
He turned 82 last week and announced his decision in the well of the Senate, the place where he looked back in awe from its backbenches, he said, back in 85, when he arrived and wondered if anyone would ever know his name and remember his name. He said Ronald Reagan used to call him Mitch O'Connell. And he grew increasingly comfortable in the front row seats afforded the party leaders. He said, one of life's most, and this is really true for a lot of people, one of life's most underappreciated talents is to know when it's time to move on to life's next chapter. I don't agree with anything he says, but that I have to agree with. So I stand.
I hope to that point, I hope you all see the rope-a-dope that's coming.
Okay.
Right? The rope-a-dope that's coming is that Mitch McConnell says, like, you got to know when to call it when you're too old and you're too feeble and you can't do it anymore. The Republicans are doing this. And everybody's like, yay, Mitch McConnell's going. That's a great idea. Great idea.
Mm-hmm.
No one sees this wave that's coming to get Biden on Mitch McConnell's retirement's back.
Yeah.
I want to be clear.
Yeah.
Like Mitch McConnell announcing this now has everything to do with people trying to shine a light on how bad Joe Biden can look and how similar they might be.
Well, I got to tell you, Joe Biden hasn't frozen. He hasn't had the concussion where his face is frozen and he just loses all contact with people. As a matter of fact, Joe Biden went to the doctor today. He went over and the doctor said that he is in great shape. Went over to Walter Reed, says he continues to be fit for duty and fully executes all of his responsibilities without any exemptions or accommodations. According to his updated health summary, he is currently undergoing treatment for multiple medical conditions that include non-valvular atrial fibrillation, gastroesophageal reflux. He's got acid reflux. Seasonal allergies, and his gait, which remains stiff but has not worsened in recent years. And one of the new conditions is that he has obstructive sleep apnea, but that's doing well, and a lot of that's been alleviated as a result of his CPAP machine.
Okay. All right. Hey, look, we didn't believe the presidential physician when they talked about how great Trump is. I'm not sure I'm gonna believe the presidential physician now just because the guy I want is in office.
Right.
If we're gonna be honest. If we're gonna be honest and really even about the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I'm given the two, I want Biden over Trump. But while I'm happy for him, and he hasn't frozen up, Biden has indeed called on dead people to give him a shout out.
That's true. And by the same token, Donald Trump still thinks that he's running against Barack Obama. So, and can't identify his wife. So,
what?
Yeah. That whole thing, remember when he was in the trial for the rape of E. Jean Carroll, and he was called to identify the woman and said, that's Tiffany's
Americans
mom.
don't care. Americans don't care. Americans don't care about that. That's not.
So do they care? Do they care about this? The judge has ruled that Donald Trump must post full bond for the $454 million fraud judgment. During the appeal, he proposed to post about a quarter of it, about 100 mil, saying it would be impossible to provide the entire $450 million judgment. Letitia James, the Attorney General of New York, argued that he should have to post the entire amount, and the judge said, "Yeah, you're right."
Yes, indeed. Are we going to avoid the other thing that came out of the court today about Trump?
So go ahead, because I have that, but I don't have the whole story.
The Supreme Court has decided they will indeed hear arguments about whether Trump was indeed immune during his time as president, which is a huge victory for Team Trump, and frightens me to death.
And they're going to take their time this is the part they got me. They're going to take their time in delivering that. So maybe we'll get the development, the judgment on that sometime around April.
Yeah, well, they start hearing arguments on April 22nd, I believe, is when they
Yeah.
start hearing arguments.
Okay. So maybe, but
On it.
he's
But
still got him.
this is our here Trump. He still got what?
Oh, they're having a party on my floor. Sorry.
Ooh.
It is CIAA time. Okay. Um, Steve, has the rain stopped in California?
Yes, finally. Yes, we've been good for a few days now.
Okay.
There's actually not a cloud in the sky right now. Thank
Oh,
goodness.
good for you. We mentioned the wildland firefighters are working to contain the multiple massive wildfires burning in the Texas Panhandle up into Oklahoma, fueled by the hot weather and gusty winds. We had 95-degree temperatures the other day in Dallas. Over 1 million acres burned in the fires, and the fire exploded, growing from 300,000 acres, making it the second largest wildfire to now 1 million acres. And this is how crazy the weather is in parts of the region. People will see snow today, if they haven't already, falling on the fires tonight into tomorrow as a result of the low pressure system. And of course, in the Chicagoland area, the National Weather Service confirmed at least 11 tornadoes touched down in Illinois, 10 in the Chicago area during an outbreak of severe weather Tuesday, in which it was like 70 degrees. The temperature dropped like 50 degrees yesterday, and then they had tornadoes. It's absolutely, it's crazy wherever you go.
Be careful if you're out there driving, if you're out there moving around. It's, it's end of days. It's end of days is what it is. It's end of days.
Well, you're in the best spot. If this is the end of your days, you have given it all. You know, it's like you've done this and just wring every drop out of it. And good for you. The last thing I want to talk about is Richard Lewis, Stephen Hill.
Oh, I know.
Made me sad.
Yes, it did me as well.
Yeah.
I am a true fan of the Sam Kinnisons, the Richard Lewises, the Robin Williams, like those who came to prominence in the mid '80s really hit my comic vein. Eddie Murphy is obviously the king of all of those, but Richard Lewis was absolutely one of those that I would get to see when I stayed out here for a summer in 1985, like doing stand up. And so he's obviously most recently from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Right.
It's unfortunate he passed away today.
Yeah, he was 76 years old. I didn't realize he was quite that old, but he announced last year that he had been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. And they said he passed away peacefully at his home in Los Angeles last night after having a heart attack. And so just one of those self-deprecating humor kind of guys. And I heard people describing him as a mensch. That he really was the menchiest of menches, and coming to an end as this is the end of Curb Your Enthusiasm too. So, yeah, I was a big Richard Lewis fan, and I think it was because I listened to Stephen Gary growing up, and he was always a big guest on with Steve Dahl and Gary Meyer. So I really enjoyed his humor.
Steve Dahl, the guy who killed Disco?
Yeah.
Right, I'll stop. Let me go.
That's okay. No, that's okay. I understand. I understand. It's sort of like you and Fat Joe. It was an investment.
Joseph, my man.
Let's move to entertainment. Bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? They are filming Bad Boys 4 in Florida right now. Will Smith photographed with Martin Lawrence filming Bad Boys 4 in Miami. The duo seen on the movie set on the water in Miami. Photographers capturing Will Smith filming what appears to be a wedding sequence, wearing the white tux, the formal white tux, brown, the black pants for the upcoming sequel. The fourth Bad Boys movie is expected to be released in theaters June 7th. I can't
Wait, what really makes me happy is that with the Bad Boys 4, it took them 4 movies to lean into it, but I'm really glad that they leaned into the homosexual relationship between those two characters, Mike Lowry. And you could feel it. You could feel it bubbling from like Bad Boys 1. And then when the Michael Mann shot, when they come up and they're glistening bodies, and you're like, they could probably get together. And so you said there's a wedding scene for the wedding scene where they're together.
Yeah.
In, Bad Boys 4. So I look forward to that. I'm glad. I'm very, very glad they leaned into that.
Yeah. I might add that there was a woman who was wearing a wedding dress that was with Will.
Oh, which reminds me, after this, I got to go cut my beard. Yeah. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. One other piece of entertainment news. I also want to congratulate Gabourey Sidibe. The actress is 39 years old, and she and her husband, she got married for like the last year or two, and they have announced that they're expecting twins.
Oh, yay!
Isn't that sweet? Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Good for her.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And kudos to our friend Don Lemon.
Yeah, absolutely. And 24.5 million kudos, isn't it? Something like that?
Yeah.
24.5 million kudos.
Got his money from CNN.
He got white man money on that one.
Okay.
He got white man money.
No, he
got
really
white
did.
man money.
Yeah, he really did.
Don Lemon got white man money from CNN. Way to go.
And whatever he went through, I hope the 24.5 million is enough for him, because they put him through it. But a good birthday gift in advance. I believe tomorrow's the 29th. It's a leap year day. But the March 1st, I think, is Don Reynaldo Lemon's birthday. So good for you. Good.
Tomorrow's Ja Rule's birthday. I've
Yes,
always
it
remembered
is.
that. He came to 106 in Park once. I think it may have actually been a February 29th. He's like, I never get to celebrate my birthday. It's my birthday today. I'm so happy. I've always remembered that February 29th is Ja Rule's birthday as well.
That's it. That's exactly right. Yeah, the very few people. Ja Rule's what, like 9 now?
That's right.
Yeah, but tomorrow is Leap Day, and for folks who celebrate their birthdays on Leap Day, happy birthday to you. You don't have to celebrate it on the 28th or the 1st of March, but good on you. Yeah, absolutely. All right, my friend. Let me see. I think there was another entertainment story I wanted to run past you, but that darn Don Lemon.
That Don Lemon. $24.5 million makes you want to go. I'm fine. I can go through anything for 24.5.
Okay. I can put up with a lot of stuff. He got in trouble for saying that Nikki Haley was past her prime and insulted his co-host, which I think was a setup. He also had a confrontation.
That was kind of messed up. Let's be honest about it. That was kind of messed up. That was messed up. And he still got paid. That's what white people do. They mess up and they still get paid. Because what he said was up. It was. And he still got paid. That's what I meant by white man money. White man get to say the stupidest things and do the stupidest things, and they still get paid. Way to go, Don Lemon, for being stupid and getting paid.
I wasn't offended by that. And I thought it was a setup. I thought it was a setup. I really did. I thought that they were, because it happened like early on in their tenure for the morning show, and even the whole Vivek Ramaswamy, he got into a confrontation. Who didn't get into a confrontation with that little gnat?
Yeah. So I looked back because I wanted to say, no, he couldn't have done that. He couldn't have done that. That was messed up. I went back and looked at the tape. I was like, yeah, that was wrong. Okay, all right. But the point is, he still got paid.
He still got paid.
That's what white people do.
Yep. And I am so glad. He
Shout to
said,
shout to Les Moonves. All right, let me stop.
okay, here's the line. Here's the line.
All right.
Okay, all right. He came out after he got sacked by CNN and said, I have a responsibility not only as a journalist, but as an American to tell the truth and to abide by the promises of the Constitution. And this is where you start singing America the Beautiful in the background. The Constitution says a more perfect union, not a perfect union. I'm not a perfect person. No one is. In order to fulfill the promise of the Constitution, we have to stand up for what is right. We have to stand up for the truth. And also, I'm getting a new show on X, formerly known as Twitter, to go along with that 20. I wonder how much he's getting paid, and I don't want to count people's money, but I'm just curious. He's going to Twitter to do it. He's getting a show that's going to stream on Twitter, on X.
Yeah, lots of advertising dollars over there. I know we as people who are of a certain age don't understand how that economy works. I'm one of them. I'm trying to understand it, but I don't understand it fully. But people who have, there are people who blow up on Twitter and make a lot of money off of Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. So go for it. Get
that money, honey. And then call the rest of us for one of your big summer parties out on Island. So a lot of the stuff I didn't get to the news that I had today, but I do want to.
Let's do it quickly. You say one line, I'll say one line, then you go back, and then let's do that until Yolanda jumps into the frame and physically removes you. Let's go. What you got?
She got me on air. We have to be appreciative. Did you see that?
Keep going. Go. Ready, go. That's all.
I'm going to give the jewel now, Stephen Hill.
Wow.
I'm going to give the jewel. I'm giving Yogi's jewel. When you are so bad. You are so bad. And you
what are we inhaling today?
Kindness. And what are we exhaling today? Smarminess.
All right.
When you find your purpose, pursue it with reckless abandonment. So inhale purpose. Exhale negativity. Come on. You can do better than that. Keep going.
I'm surprised I had that much negativity inside of me. So
I am too.
Yeah,
because you're not that kind of guy.
It was more for the show than anything else.
Okay.
I'm just a 62-year-old man who can hold a lot of air in his lungs. Be real.
Okay, Diana Nyad. All right. Thank you so much for your patience, everyone. Thank you, Stephen Hill, for being the brilliantly funny man and that you always are. And Myra J., we look forward to welcoming you back soon. And we hope that everybody and hope to see you guys here at the CIAA. I'm really looking forward to being able to watch some good basketball, men and women's basketball, and to talk to some of the folks, especially like the commissioner of the CIAA and Mr. CIAA, the new Mr. CIAA. I guess the suit has been passed from the original Mr. CIAA and pass it on to his nephew. So we're hoping to talk to him tomorrow.
Like a suit, or more like Speedos and oil. Which one? It's more of a suit, or is it like?
I'm thinking
is Mr. CIAA the best man in the Will Smith Martin Lawrence wedding, or no?
No.
Oh, got it. Different. I'll get different. No.
Mr. CIAA would take during the basketball tournaments would change clothes, and his suits would reflect the colors of the schools that were playing.
Oh.
And so everybody always looked forward to what Mr. CIAA was wearing, and used to have him on the Joyner shows. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing what the youngin is going to do as well. Thanks, everybody. Once again, Stephen Hill, we'll see you soon. Be safe.
See you next week.
And see all of you here at the CIAA. Be good. Aloha.